Really creamy. Acidity coming through, salty. This is Sri Lankan style black pork curry. Welcome back to another School of Woks episode of Wok Wednesdays, and it's Cher here, and Merry Christmas, ho ho ho. We are going to be making one of my favorite things for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day itself. It's kind of like a Sri Lankan South Indian kind of take on a pork curry. So we're going to start off by browning some spices. Right, so in we go with just a little stick of cinnamon. We're going to also get in some fennel seeds, okay? And some basmati rice, yes, basmati in this mixture here. Followed by some brown mustard seeds and some black peppercorns. Got some cloves as well, about 3 to 4 cloves. You don't want it too clovey because it can be quite strong as well. And then I've got some cardamom pods as well as some coriander seeds. So basically, as we all say here, just bung it all in into the frying pan. Give it a really good swish, and then you just let that kind of toast away nicely. Keep an eye on it, just don't walk away, basically, is what you don't want to do. Like I said, nice and toasty, a little bit of smoke just coming off of the spices now, and I'm just going to turn off the heat, you know, and then just get it all back into my little bowl here. Like I said, you always have to have a receptacle. Whenever you're toasting things like sesame seeds, spices, etc., don't keep them in the hot pan because they will eventually just overcook and burn. So get your little food processor, get everything in there. Make sure that it is able to take spices, okay? You don't want just any kind of normal food processor because you want to blitz all of this down into a really nice fine powder. I've also added in a touch of chili powder in the mixture so that just kind of gives a little bit of heat. You can obviously just adjust the amount of chili you want in there or just completely just not have it in there. And we're just going to blitz it up. Oh, gorgeous. Loving the smell already. Oh. And once your spices are all finely ground up, get your nose out of there. I know it smells really wonderful, but you do need to crack on with the rest of the recipe. So all I did was I kind of chopped up a small red onion. Typically for this dish, red onion rather than a white onion. Why? That's all I've been sort of told to do and taught to do, so I'm just going to respect that, okay? So red onion chopped up, and then a bit of garlic also just chopped up. Ginger chopped up, and then with bird's eye chilies, it's up to you how many you want to use. I'm just using 2 for today. Got a pan here. You could use a casserole, a Dutch oven, roasting tray that can go on top of a hob. And all you need to do is just heat it up, and we're just going to saute this really nicely with a bit of ghee. Get that all into a pan. We're just going to go in with the onions and the garlic. Give it a really quick stir. Just keep an eye on it. You obviously don't want anything to burn. Going to now go in with my ginger and the red chilies. Right, so whilst the onions are kind of sweating down and doing their own thing, I'm just going to cut up some of the ribs here. So obviously got a whole rack of it, and all you need to do is just cut in between the bones, and that's how you get your ribs separated. Right, I'm just kind of having a look at the onions, but you can see there's really nice and soft now, and the color's just gone a little bit translucent. I'm now going to start to get my curry leaves in. So I've got some fresh curry leaves. You could obviously use dried ones as well, but fresh is just, oh, love it. It's just one of those things. It reminds me of, funnily enough, my childhood. We had a lot of curries at home. So you just want to maybe grab a few leaves, I don't know, 6, 7, however many you feel like, drop them in there, give them a really brief fry. It doesn't take very long, but it should start to spit and kind of splutter. And what's happening is, oh, I can smell it now. You're releasing all of the fragrances and the essential oils from the curry itself. I'm going to now start to get my spice mix in there, so that can just go in. Ba-ba-bam. Give that a really good mix. It will start to catch in the bottom of that pan. Don't worry, just keep an eye on it. Make sure if you are feeling a little bit iffy about it catching and burning, make sure you just have a little bit of water nearby, and then you can just add a bit of water in there just to stop it from burning, okay? So water is a great ingredient in cooking. So get all of your pork in there, and we're just going to give it a really good mix. Make sure you coat all of that pork in the spices. Well, obviously, the mixture's looking quite dry at the moment, so we're going to get some flavorings and some seasoning as well as some liquid in there. Here I've got about 3 star anise that can go in for a bit of that aromatic sweetness. Got a couple of quills of cinnamon as well. They go in whole, just like that. Pandan leaves, I've got a few leaves here. These are fresh, and really all you need to do with these leaves, just kind of tear them up slightly. I usually just kind of almost split them in half like that. Okay, just to get a little bit more of that fragrance out. And then all I do, simple thing, just tie a simple knot, just like that. Et voila, that just holds itself together, and then you can drop that into your mixture as well. And I've also got some tamarind for a bit of that beautiful sour acidity. You definitely need quite a bit of that tamarind. That will also add to the color of the curry, make it really nice and dark. Give it a really good stir. Oh, that tamarind, I can smell that tamarind coming through already. Beautiful. And then because it is more of a Sri Lankan Southern Indian dish, we're going to get some rich, thick coconut cream in there. You could obviously use coconut milk, but it just happened that I've got cream today, so I'm just going to get all of that lush, thick cream in there. Just want to make sure I scrape the bottom of that pan really well to kind of release any browning or anything that's stuck in the bottom of that pan there. So all of the lovely flavors of that browning will just kind of be in the this curry. I am going to just add a little bit of water just to make sure that the curry is, or rather that the ribs are covered. So once that's done, that's really all the hard work that you need to do, because now this whole thing then just goes into the oven, and you cook it for about 1 hour and 30 minutes or until the ribs are sort of tender and fall apart. We'll just kind of check back in about 1 hour or so and see how we're doing. Look at this baby here. Oh, this has had a really nice time roasting in the oven. So I'm just gonna have a little taste here, make sure that it's all properly seasoned. Okay, very nice, very peppery, very spiced, very rich. I feel like I could do with a little bit of sugar. I might actually just take the pork ribs out and then season the curry sauce. We can see how deep, and in fact, I've got to be really careful about how I do this because it is literally falling apart as I am taking this out. Now I'm just going to get my sauce back on the heat and then stir through some sugar, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so like I said, just a little bit of sugar in there, just to balance off the tamarind, because I think the tamarind, with its really kind of sour nature, kind of adds a lot of interesting nuances to the dish, but sometimes a little bit of sugar to just kind of help bring a bit of balance back in to your dish. And I'm just going to do a really quick taste again. Much better with that sugar. Now this is ready to then go on top of my ribs. Then you could potentially just do this just before you serve, so you want to just drizzle all of that lovely sauce around. And then the last thing to go, really, we just need to temper or just to fry off some curry leaves. Just be really careful. This is going to spit back at you, and it's going to be quite well vigorous once this goes in. You'll see what I mean in a minute. That's what I mean. So give it a really quick kind of swivel, and all of that flavor of that curry leaves will have gone into the oil. And also, just as a final touch, just a little bit of red chilies there to just go on top for a bit of color, really. And there we have it. This is your Sri Lankan style black pork curry. Knife and fork, I suppose. This is going to be very tender and very soft, so I don't even think I need a knife, but I just didn't think that having my fingers, my dirty fingers in there was appropriate for Christmas. But yeah, it literally is just falling apart as I'm sort of taking this off of the ribs. And then I'm just gonna grab a little bit of that lovely, yummy, creamy sauce. Wow, it's got a bit of heat to it, for sure. Really amazing, do try it out. I just feel like there's something missing though. This is what it's missing! A bit of bubbly never hurt anybody, right?
Does it go with the curried ribs?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, I feel like this could be like a little bit of a aperitif before the curry, maybe. It's a little bit too, I don't know, I feel like the curry is quite strongly flavored and quite spiced. So you might want to go with like a really robust kind of a red for this. Well, I mean, I will never say no to bubbly. Try it out, see how you go with, you know, some red with curry. Sorry, one last thing. Happy Christmas. Bye.